Wheatley Provincial Park in Ontario, Canada. And over the last 2.5 months we've been, converting this Puch GWagon from the Swiss Army to a camper, and we've got tons of hours and hours of video of how we built it, and it's going to be a while until we have time to edit that. So what we thought is to give you a little sneak peek on our camper conversion 1.0, the one that we're currently traveling with after Labor Day week. So therefore, we can have more detailed video later on the construction, on the conversion, but we'll show you our Puch and give you a little room tour, shall we? So first on the outside, actually not much has changed. The only thing that has changed is our solar panels, and I'm not sure if maybe I can get up there. Show you a little bit of my subpar installation. So we have 200 watts panels, flexible panels. That taping I will redo when we're back home, but it is doing for now. And we use the radio antenna masts to put the cables inside. Since the Sikaflex had a 7-day curing period, we secured it with a little tape, and obviously that's going to be removed in the 2.0 version of our Puch. But so far we've had always more than enough energy. We only have the cooler, our charging stuff hooked up to it. The water pump is hooked up, but we haven't really used it at all, so we're using very little energy. And so far, even in a very shaded spot like that today, it's really been good enough. So let's go inside, because on the outside nothing really much changed beyond that. So this is it. Unfortunately, I'm not color coordinated today for our little room tour. So this is what we built. We have a little kitchen area with a sink. Because of the whole rush we had to get this done, we couldn't really finish anything on the inside. So we've got the doors, but on the inside everything is still unfinished. There's the water pump there. I don't know if you can zoom in. And so we'll clean that all up. We haven't done the wastewater, but the plan is to hook one of these up to one of the 2.5 gallon tanks for gray water, and use one of the 2.5 gallons down here. I'll show you that, for fresh water. Right now they're both fresh water, but that's the plan. I said we haven't used them a single time at all. So let me go inside real quick. Actually, because I'll be jumping around, I'll be taking off my shoe real quickly. So you can see here we've got ample doors or flaps in the front. So we have, as I saw, this one here. We have this one here, and you can see actually this is the backside, still also not very well wired and not protected yet. I'm going to put a little panel behind it to protect it. That's our breaker box. We've got 6 breakers rather than fuses. These are USBs and power outlets. I'll show you those. And there's another USB power outlet here. They're all switched on that. And then let's go on this side. Then got another flap here. Oh, with lots of stuff. Still fairly unorganized. And then as essentially we have 3 boxes. We've got the kitchen, we've got this middle box here, and this box here over the wheel arches. We've got another one here. Currently we keep all our clothes here, and as you'll see in a second, we also have doors on the top where we can access them, but you have to obviously remove the cushions to it. So this is the most practical way in and out. And let me get you here. So we've got our little 11-liter electric cooler, which is very small. But for us, the point was we want to have one that fits also in the Unimog between the seats in the front, and that's the biggest size we could fit in there. So we only buy one because we'll only be using it one at a time, and it'll do, especially in moderate climates like we are right now in the fall. It works okay in terms of storage. You can always go bigger, but that's it for now. You can see here our little alcove, and Wilbur is sleeping. Come on, Wilbur. What's los? Are you okay up there? We built this, and this is where a tabletop and the cushion is for our sleeping area. I'm going to show you that in a second how that converts. Maybe if Wilbur will let me. And yeah, this is a little cell phone holder, and we took a battery powered light that we just put into there. Some ambient lighting. This is still from the army stuff. This is 24 volts because so this is not working right now. We'll probably convert it to a 12 volt light, and this one I'd love to put a little skylight in, but with the solar panels I don't know if I can get one that is that small. Oh yeah, electrical. Hidden underneath here, when I do a little more detailed walkthrough video at home, I can show you my electrical installation. Right now we're not connected to the car. There is a cable that was already previously run by the Swiss Army to the back, so I've hooked that up to a smart sensing relay, but I have not hooked up the relay to the battery. So as a battery we have a 12 volt 110 amp hours deep cycle battery, and that's hooked up to the solar MPPT charger. It's oversized because we've got a 40 amp charger. I said okay if I can put a third panel on there, but I didn't realize the panels would be so big. The roof is so tiny, so I can't even put a third one on there if I wanted to. Maybe a mobile one, but as I said, we have plenty of power for what we want to do. And yeah, then we have the Bluetooth module for the charger, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, because that I can show you here. Yeah, unfortunately, those are the lessons learned. I put the breaker box on the left because that looked really nice and out of sight. The problem is it's really out of sight because it's really hard to reach, so in hindsight I would have put that up here, but I'm most likely not going to take it apart again, so it's good I know which is which and where to reach it. So yeah, let's do that. Then I'm going to just show
from the front.
No, I'm just going to show how this thing converts to a sleeping area, because you might have noticed we've got some little rails here all around, and I'm going to give that back to you. I'm going to have to scoot Wilbur up here. I'm going to put the cushion down, but I think you'll get the point. At night, when we're ready to build the bed, what we're going to do is we'll just slide this in here. No, can you push it a little? Perfect, thank you. And then what we're going to do is take this off and extend this here.
Normal sized people, other than me, can also sleep.
And so with this, you have a perfectly sized sleeping area. I'm just going to simulate it on this side. For my size, even I could sleep here comfortably. And, but this is my side of the bed. We've got plenty of length for a good night's sleep, and as you can see, it really easily converts. Unless Wilbur doesn't want to give up the cushion. Up there.
Yeah, let him be.
Yeah. So now I'm just going to show you all the cabinets without the cushions, so you see the extra doors on the top. So let's give it Well, how long was that going to take? 3 seconds? 1, 2, 3. That was easy, wasn't it? So, as I mentioned, what I really like, well, first of all, let's say that we've never built anything like that. We have very limited camping experience, so I think despite, you know, some smaller things, it's like, oh, you know, the gaps are not perfect, we're actually pretty happy with our little build. It was a lot of fun. It was a little stressful at times, but this, you know, these aluminum rails, this case material, it's really strong. You know, you can sit in it. We currently have it screwed down in 3 places per box, so that, you know, it doesn't move around, but we could take it out whenever we like to. What I really like is those, you know, the locks that we, or the latches that we have in here, because it's just, they make a great sound when they open, like very solid metal, you know. And then, oops, well,
There's another cat.
oh, another cat. That's it. We need to still find a way to organize this better. Right now we're just throwing everything basically back in, but you can see here this box basically has 3 entry points. We've got the one at the front, we've got 2 at the top, so wherever you are you can kind of reach and fill the space. And when we loaded up the camper on Friday in a rush, because I was still building until 5 o'clock in the afternoon, we left at 7. I saw what we had in front of the car and I said, we're never going to fit everything in it, and it turned out we actually were able to fit that and had some space left, which is actually good. Then in the back here, again, 1 entry point in the on the front, 2 in the back. This one is actually like a little safe, because this has a lockable latch, but nonetheless, so as we kind of have our, you know, camera equipment, our laptop, iPads, and all the kind of stuff that we want to have tucked out of sight. But in reality, obviously, if someone wants to, they can use a heavy blunt object and just make their way in it. But I said, okay, what the heck, let's have that one. You can see the partition here that we built. It's hinged and 3 hinges. And then we've got this one here at the top, set all our clothes. And some insulation material that we didn't end up using, that we took on the road. And that, oops, is pretty much it. I hope I didn't get you out of focus. And then when we're not driving, we put the cat litter box in the front, and his food and his water, so he can always get some refreshments whenever he needs to. And I think that is pretty much it for our little room tour, because it's not a very big room. There you can see our nice little faucet. And I think in version 2.0 we're going to make a little bit more use of this space, probably put some bungee cords here so we can some plates, maybe some areas for fruit, spices and stuff like that. Not a spice rack per se, but things that you more frequently use, the coffee maker and so forth, that we have them here, that they are tucked to the wall, rattle free but easily accessible. And maybe something up here and on that other side here as well. But we've got a couple of more weeks. If everything goes well, we might take another trip in October, but we still have a lot of things going on. And then stay tuned. I will most likely pick up the Unimog at Adventure Northside end of September. So I'll take the camera with me and share my experiences there. Unfortunately, I'll be all by myself with that, because Isabella has to fly to San Francisco for work that week, so I'll be on my own. So I think that concludes our room tour for today, right?
Yeah.
Having a final scenery look out onto the river that empties out into Lake Erie, and then we'll go about our way. We'll hit North Shore, Long Point Park in Ontario tonight, and slowly make our way back home. But in maybe 1 or 2 months, we'll have all the videos edited. You can watch our trip on YouTube just as well. So that concludes our room tour, and I hope you liked it. Press subscribe to make sure you don't miss any future updates of ours, and stay tuned for more. Bye. Bye.